mechanism and information to come out, because I think it'll just be a better way of everything being explained instead of people diving deep into
Yeah.
the speculation.
Yeah, and the only other thing I was gonna say, Cass, kind of going back to like the written stuff, right, is ultimately it says that you have a max of 40,000, and we know that there's 20,000 clones, and everybody who can claim will claim now, right? They also did say that people who have vials, who if you want to claim your egg now, you have to open the vial, but if you don't want to do that, you will have an opportunity down the road to claim, and they'll have that mechanism created and worked out. So just know that no matter how you slice it, 40K is the max supply that we know of right now for claimable eggs, or that will be in that the max supply of eggs will be 40,000. Now, jumping slightly to speculation here, there's nothing to say, right? And this is not written anywhere, but there's nothing to say that once those 40,000 animus are revealed, released, or whatnot, you can introduce some crazy mechanic that allows you to breed them and pop more animus creatures into life, right? So just as people think through this stuff, I think in the very near future here, we should hear exactly how this plays out. Um, and I think I forget who was asking earlier, maybe he left already. But the question around like, will the quantity increase? Will it be 20,000 right away? No, I mean you could you could have 5,000 pop in right on the first round, and because again we keep going back to uh, eggs will be released based on lore moments. So it doesn't have to be one lore moment. You can have multiple moments where things happen along the storyline and then X amount of supply gets released. I mean, if you look at the Rimowa case, that was 888 cases, right? So if you build off of that, you could say the first batch of newly eggs that get released is based on a collab or whatever it might be, and that's only a smaller quantity of eggs that's being released, but they have the full extra 20,000 supply that they can drop along the way in multiple batches, right? So we can speculate all day, but I would just say just give it a little bit of time. You'll know exactly how this is going to play out. But what we know for sure so far is 20K, no more than 40,000 eggs will be ever available. So that's what I wanted to say before people go too far down different tangents and yeah. So that's that.
All right. So now that Tevi has opened up the path, I'm going to burrow all the way down.
Oh, buckle up, everybody.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Buckle up.
So hold up, bro. First of all, I wasn't pressing the bell that much, so I'm glad other people are starting to join in now.
No. I'm booting anybody who uses any bells out here.
Tevi, you
Shadow.
got the refined information, man, and I love it because that helps guys like me. Just our speculation machine just goes crazy. I gotta get a few things off my mind before I forget and go into it. First thing, I accept the nickname Thread Demon Tevi. I've added that into my profiles now, and I'm using that as motivation. I nickname Thread Demon. I accept. The other thing, Cass, since you're up here, because I know Anya said every time there's community members speculate, things may or may not happen. Don't treat it as gospel. But since you're up here, everybody keeps talking about egg drops. And I know we had a conversation a while back about geolocation, and we're getting into how eggs can possibly drop in the future. I know some people may find it annoying, but I think a majority of people will find it very fun. If you guys do have the capabilities to do geolocated drops, meaning where you have to be in a certain location to receive, quote unquote, to be able to mint an egg or something like that, that could be really cool because I've seen, obviously like Pokemon Go, things of that nature, right? They can drop something out in the world. They use like a certain type of map to hot spots where people are, things of that nature. And maybe you got to go to a certain area. Maybe, an egg is trying to transport a large vessel of eggs, and it crashes, and all the eggs get spread across the whole globe, right? And then if you, as an ex, to get extra eggs, right? So this is maybe outside of 40. Maybe don't do this, with the original 40, but maybe there's an additional 5,000 eggs that are just displaced everywhere, and they could be maybe a Coke lab or something cool. But I do think with what Tevi was saying, deflationary values, in a way, I know we talked about it yesterday, and there were some things that were brought up by Hodl that I have been looking into that. We don't want too many whale tokenomics. Not that whales are bad; whales are actually good, but we don't want it to only be a whales game. But I do hope that there is a deflationary, evolutionary, combined animus mix and match to evolve them, because what that then allows is, it then, people are always like dilution, dilution, dilution. If you have this batch of eggs that are constantly being mixed and matched and evolved into all these unique animus, and then you release more eggs, and these eggs maybe even have other traits that can maybe mix with the current batch, or you can get really crazy with combinations, and then people are always looking forward to more eggs entering into the current supply, right? I hope the egg theme is something that is a long-term play, not a short-term play, because I really, really like it. It adds a lot of suspense. It adds things like protect the egg. Eggs they can't protect themselves, so maybe you have to do some maintenance. Maybe you got to get the incubators. There's a lot of things you can do with the concept of quote unquote eggs. But yeah, Tevi, I like all that you said. I do hope that either the 20K is released in a very unique way. I mean, I've never been a part of a whitelist before. So if clones get whitelist in some form or fashion, that would be cool. It'd be my first whitelist. But even if clones don't get whitelist, because we were able to claim, an egg for free, if the remaining eggs are a public sale, rather it be geolocated, or everybody show up at this one time, or they do like, hey, we're doing 5K eggs this month, and then in quarter 2 of next year we'll release another 5K and then another 5K, but Animus is revealing like this December. I think even that would be cool. That way people have more things to look forward to. If they miss it and they come and they join the CloneX community at the beginning of next year, well, guess what? They have another public sale they can look forward to, right? So there's multiple different ways you can do this. I am excited to see what the team ends up doing. But yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say on that front so far. But yeah.
When you started with it, Cass, since you're up here, I thought you're gonna like dig in for some alpha, and I'm glad you didn't. I appreciate you. I always had a rule in my spaces that like don't come up and like just start digging for
No,
alpha because
I-
there's
It's
but
still the rule, dude. What do you mean always?
yeah, I'm not
always.
gonna
That's
do
what I
that.
said. I always have a rule in my spaces.
I
Oh,
know
oh.
he's not a mod, but I used to be a mod, and they would tell us to be more like listeners than on stage. I always broke that rule because I had too much to say. When people saw me on stage, they would always be like, "Yo, Shadow, so with Disney, what's the next Disney drop? And did Disney sign off on this?" And they'll ask me all this legal stuff with Disney and Vivi. And I
Dude.
knew the answers to some, but I was like, "Yeah, I can't say sorry," so I'm not gonna do that to him. But I
There
will speculate openly in the air while he's up here.
There is, and just look and see if he gives reactions or something. No, I'm just kidding. So there was a time when like none of the team members could get in up on spaces, bro, because it was like, and we were going through some FUD at the time, and it was just a free for all. People would just be going in. So like, I think we've changed the culture since then. Like, just because it's a rule that I've always said in spaces that I host, and then it allows like Anya and Cass and Yarlin to come up. Yarlin came up one time. Maximone, I wish I could remember which episode it was or what bad take it was, but Maximone came in up and dropped some absolute knowledge on smart contracts, bro. Like shit like that. Which you know what I mean? So if you know you can get up there and you're not gonna get hammered for questions and answers that you don't even have or can't tell anyways because of NDAs, like it makes you want to go up and just chill and kick it. So Shout out to you, Shadow. I think your speculation is way the far out there, but I want it all to happen. Like you got some crazy speculation, but I want it. That's what I want. Like whatever Shadow's saying, it sounds dope.
Hey, Cass, man, I will just say this, man. I'll pump my own bag for a second. I will pay for my own flight. I will pay for any any expenses that is included. All you need to give me is 2 bottled waters and a Coke, and I will just continue to just on like nonstop speculate on whatever subject you guys give me. Y'all don't even have to tell me shit. I'll just everything that comes to my head, I'll just list off. And then you can just say, all right, thank you for your time, and then I'll just walk away. If you ever need that, bro, I got you.
Yo, Shadow said I got ideas for you. So if you need ideas, because you ain't got ideas, I'm your man. I thought he was talking about going
Shadow's
to
like
like the
it's more like I don't even care if you want ideas. I'm just gonna tell you, and then you can
I just need water and a
and a
Coke.
Coke.
No food. I
just
just want
like
water
just
and
like
a
so
Coke,
that so
and
I don't
I
get cotton
got you.
mouth. I just need to stay hydrated so I can just.
I was gonna say the cotton mouth. Yeah.
Oh man.
This is hilarious.
Yo, I thought Shadow was talking about flying out to, because we were talking about flying out to Amsterdam earlier. Shadow's like, I'll buy my own flights, but he's just talking about getting in front of somebody and talking. He's just, I'm gonna come talk to you. I'm gonna come tell you some ideas. That's what we got spaces for, Shadow. You don't even need a plane flight, bro. You just need some water, a Coke,
But
and
no,
2
Twitter.
waters,
because
Coke.
like Vivi, man, like a lot of people, right? Just going back to my background, Vivi, they one time they got the community leads together and they were like, "Hey guys, like there was a lot of bad sentiment going on. Things were going down. It totally different reasons than projects on OpenSea." And they were like, "What do you think we should do?" And we're like, "Yo, you just need to listen to the community. Like, we understand and we get that you guys are, leading it, but bro, there's some people in this community and they got some great ideas." So what they did is they started this and I'm pretty sure they're already doing this stuff. I'm just speaking from just history now. What they did is they got like people together that were major contributors to the communities, and it actually did wonders because every time something was like negative or like FUD, they had kind of like a direct line to say, "Hey, just heads up, this is what's going on. This is kind of how things are. This is how the community's feeling about this." And then they were able to really hash out really cool ideas because Vivi got to a point where they got so big and they only had a limited amount of like time to do stuff that people were like wanting everything. They were like, "I want my NFTs to fly me across the world." Like it got to that crazy point where people had like they did not had a cap on their speculation. So they got a group of people from the community together, and like once a month the co-creators they would be like, "Yeah, so what are the communities talking about?" And they would just list off everything. I thought it was really, really cool. I was never a part of that because my shit is always super, super out there. You need more grounded people like Tevi. Tevi's perfect for that type of shit. But yeah, people in the community, man, they always have really great ideas if a project needs ideas. But I don't think really Artifact needs ideas. I think they have a lot of competent people on their team and a lot of great artists, but I just like to speculate because I'm bored and have too much time on my hands.
You know what I was thinking? I was gonna say this earlier when y'all were talking about if we were gonna go up to 40K animus, right? And I'm like, so Artifact is cool as fuck. I'm gonna say this super simple. Artifact is cool as fuck. They were early as fuck. One of the first, right? Came with 3D files, yada yada. All these other people have come after and have made hella mistakes. Artifact is cool as fuck. They have watched all of those mistakes happen. Artifact is taking their time. And so I think that when Artifact does do what they're gonna do, we can almost look at it like a process of elimination. It's almost like more of like what can we not expect? I think we have a better like chance at understanding what we can expect for them not to do based off of the community sentiment on what's already been done. And then so if you look at what Artifact is, remove what they probably won't do now from what they are, what's left is more cool as fuck shit. You feel me? And like that's where a lot of my confidence lies. And I think that's also kind of like what Tevi said is like when you think like that, what I kind of explained, you start to see like the reasoning behind why he might say like, oh, that'd be cool if maybe they even dropped like 5K, then another five. You know, like they don't. They're not gonna do like what Azuki just did. No hate on Azuki. They're not gonna like dilute anything. I think that would be insane of them. So I'm not expecting that in any way.
Yeah, the only thing I would say too is you got, and this is what I always try to tell people, right? Is really think about Artifact isn't building for today the vision that the founders have been crafting. If you go back to some of the earliest interviews where that I could find anyways with Chris talking about what they wanted to do with this avatar collection, what they're like the vision that they have for where this all goes. It's a long, like, I mean, they don't say 2052 for just out of nowhere, right? If there's nothing else that I've kind of gathered this whole time, and this is not me shilling Artifact, and but this is truly what I believe, is they've sat down and thought this through probably in more depth and breadth that most people in the space have, or at least that's apparent to me, right? And it's more of a working and having the technology catch up with what they have in their mind to put it all on paper and make it happen. Like if you go back to last year, like they kept dropping all these things, and as much as it was great, but it was also a double-edged sword, right? Because you have all these things, all these ideas that have been dropped and put out there, but now you have to come back to the real world, right? Because it's not just the digital stuff. It's easy, quote unquote, to do digital stuff and put it out there, but it's a lot harder when you're trying now to tie it back to the real world with businesses and logistics and all these things, and you have to execute on delivering those items, right? So the pace at which they were going last year was lightning speed, right? And now it's like, all right, well, we have all these things, but we're not quite ready to tie it all together. And so now we're tying it all together. And so, long way of saying that when we're thinking about the eggs, we're thinking about these ships, the fact that we're floating through space right now with the Exodus, and even the shoes that we're getting, all that stuff is part. It's a small piece of the bigger vision. And for me, it's, man, over the next few years, right? Like what this team is going to deliver and what they're like, I'm just at this point, I'm just here for the ride. Like I just want to see like how do they bring forth the vision and how do they tie together like what they've already given us, but more importantly, what else is out there in the wings that we've kind of gotten like little hints, like, and for example, the NVIDIA collaboration, right, with the AI stuff, and what they've kind of talked about a little bit there with like building AI into your clone and allowing it to talk for you while you're not around. That's some next level stuff, right? Like, but okay, well, how do you roll that out and integrate it in a way that people can actually utilize that? So how does that work, and what will be? Because I think of it as everything is going to be in phases. Like you're not going to get, well, and you might, but I would imagine that you're not going to get like everything completely done right out the gate. You're going to get, and it's kind of like the pods. Like we started with like just one pod that was like your little gallery where you could put art. Well, today those pods are basically storefronts. You can sell your NFTs out of them, right? Like those are all with OnCyber. Those are all capabilities that came along after the fact, but you're kind of setting the baseline and building the groundwork and building upon it. It's a foundation, right? So that's when like there's a lot of cool projects out there, but I think where we go from here is going to be super interesting. And the first hint into what that vision looks like is how Animus gets rolled out. So I love the speculation, but I think it's going to be it's going to be even more exciting to see how they roll this out, and it's going to be like a good showcase of where we're going next as a brand.
Hey, not to go off topic real quick, but it looks like Gutter Cat Gang page is compromised, the Twitter, and they're putting out scam links that are draining wallets. So nobody click or go to that page. Click on that link. Franelations just got his entire wallet drained. And it looks like the Gutter Cat Twitter is putting it out like multiple times. They've tweeted it like 6 times now. So spread the word.
Is that his main wallet that got drained?
His vault.
Holy.
No.
Yeah, bro. I just put it in the. I
Oh,
just put it in the fucking bad take thing. But everybody, I just wanted to. We're on. Like we're talking right now, so I wanted to make sure everybody knew because I know there are a couple people who are part of Gutter Cat gangs. It's compromised right now.
Yeah, man. I hate hearing that shit, man. And I know I haven't been in this side for that long, although I've been aware of crypto. With crypto, I obviously I just never click on links. I only go to official websites. But even then, you got to be careful with official websites because you know they could then be compromised as well. It's rare, but it's still possible. But man, dude, I one of my friends he put me on Kelby. He's been in the space for a long time and he put me on what is it, Pocket Universe and some other stuff. He obviously showed me the best way to do it, having multiple minting wallets, you know, and having a vault that you never connect to anything. But if you keep like a ENS or just some small NFT in your minting wallet, and you have like Pocket Universe and some other stuff, it just in case you run into that situation where you click on the link. If Pocket Universe doesn't catch it, the only thing they'll take is like whatever little NFT you got in there, and you can set it up to where it alerts you if you like the NFT leaves. But yeah, man, I hate hearing about that shit, man. That's why I never, and that's why I want delegate.cash on the main website at Artifact because I don't want to connect, especially now that my clone and all my stuff are in there. I don't want to touch that shit, period. Right? Like, even with Animus, I'll move my egg out, but I don't want to connect that shit. I don't want to do anything. I'd rather just delegate everything because if shit like that happens, I mean, it'll be devastating to me, but I know for some people, they have way more money, way more assets, and they've been in the game way longer than me and I can't even imagine, man. But yeah, that fucking sucks, man.
Man, I can't even imagine. That sucks. Like it isn't. I mean, that's a big collection, but like anybody getting like every time I hear people getting their wallet drained, like that's like you take the time, you put the money in collecting all these things, right? And then it just all goes away. And there's no that's the one downfall of like crypto and NFTs and all. It's like you can't even turn to anybody at this point and be like, yeah, I'd like to file a claim and get my stuff back. Like that sucks. And I know he had some pretty insane grails in that vault. So that sucks to hear.
Yeah, he posted a screenshot. Lots of Yuga assets, heavy metals. It looks like a mutant was in there. He looks like he moved all his Azuki assets to a different wallet like 3 days ago. He had a bunch of Azukis and elementals, so but all his Yuga assets were still in there.
Yeah, at least it's
Damn.
not everything. So he's got some stuff left, but man, that's a big loss all the way around.
Bro, the shitty thing is it's coming from the official Gutter Cat page, bro. Like it came from the thing. And they did the classic
So
300 pairs of mellows, giving away 300 pairs of mellows to the first 300 people, the shoes, right? So everybody FOMOed and clicked it because it's from the official page. It's from official channels. That shit right there is what's scary, right? Um,
website or the Twitter page, the official Twitter page or official website?
the official Twitter page is now posted this link like 6 times, and it's saying they're giving away 300 pairs of their Mellow shoes, like their what is it? Their
Yeah, the Puma.
Pumas, and to the first 300 people. So everybody is FOMOing to go click that link because it's from the official channel, which fucking got Franelations.
Yeah, and the other thing is, man, whatever your cold vault is, don't put any ETH in there either, man. It helps out sometimes. Sometimes they'll send ETH to your wallet and then they'll start to drain. But I've heard from other people that they tried to get drained, but since they keep 0 ETH on their cold storage, it didn't have any ETH to make any transfers or anything like that. But yeah, man, that sucks, man. Even like with Artifact, like since we're part of Artifact, like nobody is invincible when it comes to Twitter. I know I talked about yesterday about how people can compromise, people's accounts, Facebook, bank accounts with just a cell phone number. But it is better to be last than to be first. And when I see those types of things, like the first 500 people who click on this link, like that type of stuff, I just always just like assume it's been sold out or somebody else got it, because yeah, that's how they get you, man. And it'll be when you least expect it. So always connect with a minting wallet first. Never connect with your cold store. I recommend.
And don't the smartest thing you just said, and you said a lot of smart things, but do not FOMO at these like 500 first 300. Artifact will never do that shit. They will never do a surprise drop. Ever, 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 ever. All
I
right.
think by this point, yeah, that's been learned
The
because
only way that you can like not avoid this stuff like is to wait like a day before you plug your, and you know what I mean, like because it came from the main site comp. You know what I mean? That could happen to us. You know, the Twitter
Yeah,
Artifact Twitter could get compromised, and but if you waited an hour or two, you know, we'd figure it out. So
yeah, and in an
it's on
hour,
your side.
I would say, yeah, probably less than an hour. In an hour, man, everybody and bad take, everybody will be posting everywhere like, "Yo, it's compromised. Don't click it," and Discord too. So yeah, never be first to those things. Always just assume they're sold out, and especially if we see Artifact do it, we definitely know. But I can understand though, because you think official website link, it's a competition. Who's the fastest? Yeah, I mean it all makes sense. It's just a recipe for disaster. So yeah, maybe all projects could just kind of like come together and agree to like not do that. Because I think the only reason why people, even seasoned veterans, end up falling for that trap is because of the FOMO aspect around whatever the hacker or drainer is posting.
Well, shock drops are like a thing, you know, especially on sneakers. You know, that happens all the time. So, but Artifact will never do those things. I couldn't be more clear, and love to get other people's thoughts on what just on that happening. But we won't have any shock drops on Web3. There's other the way that we have mint mechanics, the way we have token gated access with the clones that we have or the assets that we have does away with any need for shock drops like they have in Web2. You know, Nike did one this week.
I don't.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Web 2 too, though. If they do that and it gets compromised, I mean, you can call up your bank, get your money back. They'll probably even send out refunds, like, and they can easily find out who did that. When it comes to Web 3, though, it's a little bit trickier.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I could see it happen from the standpoint of like, hey, go to this location for this event, and first come first serve on physical stuff, but not the whole connect to this wallet address or whatever and get stuff. So yeah, I mean it's if that I think that's the main takeaway from this is like, oh yeah, give it a little bit of time and and one thing we always say, right, is like if it's from the main account, main channels, it's going to be posted on every single one of um, their their uh, their connection points. So like the Twitter, the Discord, whatever other page now gets threads. So it will be across platforms. So until you see that, just don't connect. But I'm not gonna lie, like the whole gutter cat one, it would have been one thing. Like if I had seen it, I probably would have looked at it like, oh, that's cool. But but I've learned over the years, right, of like just kind of wait and see what's going on, and is it posted on multiple locations first? Because if it's only on one social media and not on the Discord or vice versa, then there's something wrong. I've seen it with other bunch of other projects, and it's like, and it never fails when it's only on one channel. Chances are something get compromised, like either the Discord get compromised or the main account get compromised, and before you realize it, people are getting drained left and right. So don't
It seems like a lot of people
yeah.
getting hit from this, man. This is crazy.
That image, right? So scary, man. Sad.
Hey, if you
Yo,
guys
you know
are
what's
if
wild
you're
is
gonna
that I never
repost it,
click links. I never, ever, ever click any links. Ever. Doesn't matter who sends them to me. I will retype that shit out just to make sure. Even if it's a
Even in a
Google
like a,
Drive link. Even a Google Drive link. I don't care.
you don't even use Google, right?
No, I use Gmail. I have Google Corporate, but like I don't click any links. It doesn't matter. My mom can send it to me. I'm not clicking it. I don't care.
How can we see
Who is
who?
it talking about delegate cash?
How can we see who's like what wallet is it going to? Do you have the wallet information or where it's getting sent to?
This is like a job for blockchain.
They have he's having a spaces up right now talking about it.
I mean, I can look where it's all going. I don't know if they're all going to the same wallet though.
Someone said Franilations got drained. That's a huge help for the
Yeah,
community.
Yeah, that's what brought me in here. He put it on Threads. I was scrolling my Threads timeline, and he was like, "Man, that link just got everything." And I didn't know if he was playing or not. Then I jumped in here, and it's like, "Damn, that's real nice."
Hey, real quick though, because I'm gonna forget about this. I know this is a little bit more important, but to what Tevi was saying and what everybody was saying earlier about Artifact, I will say this: like it goes back to what my history teacher said, and it always stuck with me. Like a machine gunner, it can hold back an army for a long time, right? But a trained sniper can cripple a whole country. So with that aspect, going back to like Artifact, like when you were talking about how they were shooting things out like a machine gun, like rapid fire, right? Like it is great and it's amazing as it's happening, but eventually that person's gonna have to reload, right? And I feel like that was that long period you guys were kind of waiting to see like what was happening next, because Artifact was reloading, and then they started completing all of their CRLs, the Air Force Ones, the Ramoas, everything was getting checked off the list again. But, what I think we're going to probably see moving forward, and that's why things have still been kind of quiet, is it's going to be more of like a trained sniper, man. They're going to be hitting certain points, and it's going to create major impact when they're ready to fire off. When Animus comes out, boom. When Monolith comes out, when all these things next come out, I think we're going to definitely see a more trained, precisioned shot rather than just a machine fire of just like a bunch of stuff. Not saying that there won't be build up to hype as far as news and tweets and things like that, but when they're ready to pull that trigger, it is definitely going to be like more of a trained sniper than a machine gunner for sure.
Damn. So I found the wallet that at least 2 pages of NFTs have gone to. This one guy, yeah, it's a lot of expensive assets. There's a Bored Ape, an Elemental, lots of heavy metals, mutant apes, elementals. Other deed lands, some vessels.
When you say lots of mutant apes, how many are you talking?
Did I say lots of mutant apes? I said a mutant ape. There's lots of heavy metals though. The heavy
Oh,
things. There's like 10 heavy metals so far. This one wallet that Frenelation went to, it looks like that's where this guy's Bored Ape went to. This other guy.
What did Fran lose?
Fran lost. Hold on, I'll read it. Vessel, 2 other deeds, Gucci Vault, something Gucci, like 8 heavy metals, 3 elemental, Azuki elementals, and a mutant ape.
Bro, this is crazy.
Yeah, dude. That guy who lost his Bored Ape paid $115 for it.
Shit.
Yeah, Dre, what are you doing? Don't say
Sorry.
that.
Wait, $115 or 1.15?
115
ETH.
ETH.
Oh,
We don't. That's
Everybody knew what I was
ETH.
talking about.
115 ETH or ETH, depending on where you are in the
If
world.
it's ever $115, I won't even say it. Like, I won't even say it. That's at
hey,
that point, that's a gas fee, right?
I would not sleep. I would not eat. I would, bro. My main focus would be finding out who you are, bro. Hell no, bro.
Lobby's
Blockchain
in.
can find him though. I think blockchain is on it. I think he's discovering what's going on.
What's up, Kiro?
Yeah, I just gotta ask. So, people transact on the wallets that they have their most expensive assets on. That's like what we're doing now. 2 steps forward, 20 steps back. That's all I see in this space as far as security is concerned.
Dude, there's
I'm
people
not
that
one to
hold
talk
their
because I've been drained before, but that's why I stopped clicking links. So I have trouble.
Kiro lost more money in a flood at his house than most people have been drained for.
Yeah, fuck.
Couple of thousand ETH or something. Yes,
Yeah,
but there are people who hold their expensive assets in a MetaMask wallet and they use that, and it's the only wallet they have. And
that's fucking crazy.
they got to take a day to
Bro, I have so many ledgers. I don't
do
even
some
know
better
what
practices.
things are on what ledgers.
Yeah, my did not let me enter in to crypto until I bought a ledger, and then he told me, he said, and I don't mind sharing this. I mean, I think it's important. He was like, look, this is how you need to do it. He's like, you need to have 2 minting wallets. He said, however you want to use those minting wallets, it doesn't matter. You need 2 minting wallets, 2 separate wallets, and use only those to make first contact with everything. Pocket Universe, download Pocket Universe. It will not be a end all be all, but it will help you make easy, mistakes that you may make. He was like, you need at least 3 ledgers. He was like, 1 ledger for your NFTs, 1 ledger for your crypto, and 1 ledger to be the middleman for those 2. So you send your NFT to your middleman to the mint wallet, and vice versa. He said you're going to pay a shit ton in gas fees, but I guarantee you, if you do this method, you will not lose a damn thing. And I've been doing it ever since. And so far, knock on wood, I haven't lost anything, but I've paid a shit ton in gas fees.
Yeah,
keep
that's a
pumping my
good
bags.
tip.
Fucking, let's burn this gas, baby. Let's fucking burn the gas. Buy Nike. And
Why is
burn
Kiro
gas.
so far away from the
I don't know.
microphone?
You sound like he in the
I
kitchen,
need to disconnect
cooking
him
and
from
talking.
Kiro, where are you?
I'm not trying to kick anybody when they down, man. I can't imagine losing all of that in one click. Like the shock of it would, yeah. So no, it's just terrible, man. Hey man, don't be farting on me, bro.
Don't do blockchain shit early in the morning when you just woke up and when you're really, really tired at night too. Get some coffee and you be awake when you're doing shit. That's what I've learned.
But I know it's not that guy. I mean, it's not that guy's fault. It's the guy who chose to be a predator and drain shit. Like, we have all been.
No. Personal accountability.
is the number one rule of
Yeah,
the
I mean,
game.
I understand that. But what I'm saying is not what I'm saying is not his fault that he ended up being a target today. It's the main person's fault is the person who decided to be a predator on people, right? Somebody spent a lot of time getting access to an official website. They knew that they were going to cause FOMO, and they knew they were going to get at least one person, right? And we've all been there where let's just take Artifact. We just talked about how Artifact would never do that, but if we wake up and Artifact is like, yo, we got, I don't even know what they would say, but we got some extra alien Air Force Ones. We only got two. The first two people to claim them, that's who gets the Air Force Ones. There's going to be at least two people that are going to be like, oh my gosh, it's coming from the main website. Wait, let me double check. Yep, this is the main website. All right, let me click on this link. Let me do it. And maybe they've been signed in to their main wallet. Maybe they have a minting wallet, but they just when you're trying to be the first, that's when a lot of mistakes are made. Just rushing. But yeah, you are right, Kiro. I mean, accountability, yes, but at the same time, like I hope that person understands that he's human and he made a human mistake.
This is wild. This is mad wild. It's super wild. Of all people, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's just a good reminder that, like y'all have been saying, nobody's invincible. There's been a lot of very smart people that have gotten caught slipping, and best thing to do is definitely have like those delegate wallets set up, or those in between wallets that you use that don't have anything in it. And just try not to use your stuff ever unless you're like, I know there's a lot of artists in here, so it's like just chill. 99.9% of the time, you'll know at least like a few days ahead of time any big mint is going to happen. And if it's like rushing you that much, then nah, you gotta step back and think about it for a moment, because I think we've all had those moments where I know when the Murakami pill, or not the Murakami pill, but the Murakami flower mint came out, I was too dumb last year. That was the most sus looking website link I've ever seen, and I was like 10 minutes on it, clicking away. And afterwards I was like, damn, dude, I could have lost it. I could have lost it all. But yeah, that's why it's better to just stay safe and confirm stuff.
I'm still skept out about Murakami stuff. He sent out emails. I'm
Bro,
like,
I've
what?
missed
Nah, man.
everything because of that. Yeah, his emails are so sketchy. It's not good.
And I made a vow back then. I remember I jumped in the CloneX LA chat like, yo, is this real? Asking other people, and I'm doing the same thing now. Anything that come out through Artifact or whatever, I'm hitting them compound. Yo, would you get something too? What you know about this? Cause damn that.
Yeah, bro. The email that just came out recently, like if you have Murakami flowers, claim your whatever. I have, bro. I didn't even do that. I got the Murakami. I didn't even claim the cards or whatever it was, just because the email looked so sus. And everybody kept saying it was fine, but then the time ran out. I'm like, I think I'm all right. I'll be all right.
Same.
Yeah, if it's a big drop going on, and if it's a part of your community and you're plugged in, 9 times out of 10, there's going to be a space going on. Join the space first, celebrate on the surprise drop or whatever it is, but never be the first.
And I honestly don't feel like we even in the same place that we were once in Web3, where we had to rush to do something. It seems like everything that's dropping now comes with a significant amount of time that allows you to participate in it. You know what I mean? Even the Azuki drop was 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like how it once was. It was like, hurry, hurry, rush, rush, white, let's get on. Y'all, you missed it. So that's one thing to keep in mind, too.
All right, guys. I'm gonna go hit the gym. We're gonna be back here at 6. We've been active since like 11:30. It's been a good space. A lot of knowledge was dropped. And then we ended it with some security knowledge, which is super important. But If you don't have a setup, like a proper secure setup, just rethink it. Reach out to some of the community members. Reach out to Blockchain Ninja if he's got time. He messages back. He's really smart. But we'll catch y'all at 6 p.m. tonight. Dre Millie.
Protect your wallets, man.